What is going on, guys? It is Wrestlelamia here, back with some more news. Join us now as we look at the wildest news stories and rumors you need to know, including WWE's relationship with ESPN off to a very bad start, AJ Styles confirms his WWE retirement date, an update on a WWE star's injury, why the Miz is furious with fans, the real reason behind Jazmyn Nix's WWE exit is a huge problem, are people jealous about The Undertaker's marriage, and much more. Be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell for daily wrestling videos and follow us on Facebook for exclusive lists. Now let's hit the intro and get straight into our first story. Now, first story looks at WWE's relationship with ESPN off to a very bad start. Atop of today's news is WWE's rumored reaction to the new PLE partner ESPN rating Wrestlepalooza, the first ESPN PLE carried as part of the new deal with the sports cable outlet, a grade C, and the question whether this means things are off to a rocky start. WrestleVotes Radio is reporting there was a number of people within WWE surprised and puzzled that ESPN would publish an article grading their first ever WWE PLE at a C level. Those within were openly wondering why ESPN would want that kind of online stigma after what many considered a fair standard event from WWE. Now, we're not alone in believing that Wrestlepalooza was a highly average show at best, and that WWE did itself no favors by overhyping how big the show would be, including promising fans to expect surprises that we didn't get unless you count Stephanie McMahon's Hall of Fame. No match really stood out other than Io Sky versus Stephanie Vaquer, which was a hella good match. The Sportsters supplied a sampling of fan comments that criticized the show, including this one that seems to explain why ESPN gave Wrestlepalooza a grade C. ESPN paid $1.6 billion to stream special events, and WWE is surprised they want a good showing? Now, if WrestleVotes' sources in WWE accurate, is another example of WWE's ever-growing hubris, with WWE management apparently subscribing to the adage no one ever went broke, underestimating the intelligence of the American public. Now, while WWE is currently riding high with record profits, a reality check from business partners may be the quickest way to deliver a much-needed wake-up call that the WWE product is stagnant and things need to change. Whether that happens remains to be seen, but we'll at least give ESPN credit for calling out the company on phoning in Wrestlepalooza. They could have gone the route where they lied about the PLE and gave it a glowing review. Next up, Logan Paul's new status in WWE. There was intriguing news concerning Logan Paul's status in WWE, as WrestleVotes Radio is reporting that sources indicate that Logan Paul is currently listed internally within the WWE roster as a free agent, meaning creative has the liberty to work with him in either Raw or SmackDown stories when required. This may actually surprise fans who know Paul is listed as a Raw superstar, a move WWE made when Raw moved to Netflix. However, Logan Paul has become WWE's ace, someone the promotion can put into any program and make it a wild success. Paul's in-ring work and ability to draw nuclear heat from fans makes him one of the promotion's most valuable assets, and it will also be interesting to see who he battles next. Next up, when is Jacob Fatu returning to action? Where is Jacob Fatu? Well, the Samoan werewolf hasn't been seen on WWE television since August 29th, with Ringside News reporting the former US heavyweight champion has been working dark matches on SmackDown. Given the incredible push Fatu enjoyed from his 2024 debut, it's kind of baffling why he's suddenly been sidelined and off television. While we don't have any reasons or even speculation why he's been absent, it has been reported by the Wrestling Observer newsletter that Jacob Fatu will be back imminently. Could that happen on tonight's SmackDown? With Roman Reigns said to be wrapping up his role in Street Fighter, things could get pretty violent for the Vision, especially with Survivor Series fast approaching. It's heavily speculated at this point that Roman Reigns will be involved in the War Games match. But could he ask Jacob Fatu for help? Next up, an update on WWE star's injury. Now, if you're curious where SmackDown superstar Piper Niven has been, well, this week's Observer now has an update. Niven has been gone from TV due to a neck injury. The injury is very serious, and the internal injury report described it as potentially career-threatening. Piper has been a fixture on WWE television, including memorable programs with Chelsea Green as WWE Tag Team Champions and 2 reigns as 24/7 champion. Next up, the Hardys versus the Dudleys is going to be a tables match. And the recent TNA Impact show, negotiations between the Hardys and Matt and Jeff Hardy and Team 3D of Bully Ray and Devon Dudley over their upcoming showdown at TNA's Bound for Glory took center stage. Obviously, the two teams have a storied past in WWE, and the Hardys believe they need the victory to cement their claim as the greatest tag team ever. They offer to put their TNA World Tag Team Championship belts on the line. However, to now raise the stakes further, Team 3D invoked one of their signature match types, a table match. Longtime viewers will remember that the Hardys and the Dudleys had a famous tables match in WWE at the 2000 Royal Rumble, where the Hardy Boys defeated the Dudleys. But after some back and forth, both sides finally came to an agreement and the match is now official. It will be a tables match for the TNA World Tag Team Championship, set to take place at Bound for Glory on October 12th. Next up, AJ Styles confirms WWE retirement date. Now, AJ Styles has been talking about retirement for some time, repeatedly telling fans he wants to get out before he reaches a certain age. Despite these hints, Styles has seemed reluctant to set a firm date. However, a recent chat with Tokyo Sports suggests the Phenomenal One has finally reached a decision. I'll probably appear at WrestleMania 42, but that's not finalized yet. The details are undecided, but what is certain is that I'll retire next year. I don't want fans to see me when I'm no longer AJ Styles. That's the biggest reason I've decided to retire before my body breaks down. Our wrestling fans have seen more than a few all-time greats work when their best years were distant memories. And while nostalgia can often hide shortcomings, these post-prime performances raise questions about whether they impact a wrestler's legacy. Styles, like John Cena, wants to go out on a high, and it'll be fascinating to see what type of send-off WWE gives him. But what of AJ's life after in-ring competition? Well, he told Tokyo Sports, "I haven't decided yet, but I'll probably keep working with WWE. Helping younger talent develop into main roster stars might be something I'd like to do. But for now, I just don't know." Are you guys sad to hear that AJ's career is now winding down and he'll be retiring next year? Who should he face in his final ever matchup? Next up, why The Miz is furious with fans. Longtime WWE superstar The Miz is now letting the WWE Universe know they let him down. While the WWE's A-lister is known for talking trash, indeed he made a career of running his mouth and daring anyone to shut him up, this latest gripe has some fans wondering if The Miz is justified for being angry. Speaking on the Schmo, the two-time WWE champion had this to say: "It pisses me off as a WWE superstar because I feel like I've had a big rivalry with John Cena. I've had multiple WrestleManias with John Cena, and yet the fans aren't sitting there saying, 'Hey, we want Miz versus John Cena.' They're saying, 'We want AJ Styles versus John Cena.' John Cena has 5 matches left, or 5 dates. I don't even know how many matches are left in his pocket, but there's 5 dates. That's it. That's 5 superstars that are going to get an opportunity to be in the ring, and I want myself to be one of them." The Miz has pointed out that he's been very vocal about his wish to get a match with John Cena, noting that, "I was the first person when I heard about the whole farewell tour. I said I want to be the first person to put my name in that hat. All the fans had to do was tweet and go on Instagram and talk about it, get it riled up to where it would be the Miz versus John Cena one last time. But no, you wanted the Randy Orton, you wanted the Brock Lesnar, you wanted the AJ Styles, you didn't ask for this guy." Whether or not this is a work or shoot, it shows how the Miz can seamlessly step into any WWE storyline. Right now there are 5 dates and potentially 5 matches. User C Nation City had probably the best schedule that I've seen for the remainder of John Cena's farewell tour, having AJ Styles in Crown Jewel Perth, then against Dominic Mysterio on Raw and winning the title, then defending it against Sheamus, and then a War Games match, and then his final match against Gunther, seemingly putting him over. What do you guys think? Next up, Shotzi Blackheart's shocking revelation. Now, just a pre-warning, this article contains discussion of sexual abuse and it may be distressing for some, so if you want to skip this story, please go ahead. A former WWE superstar, Shotzi Blackheart, is opening up about the abuse she suffered as a child and the shocking response she got when she reported it. Shotzi recently appeared on Soraya's Rule Breakers podcast, revealing,
"I was 8 when it started. He moved to America from the Philippines and my mom took him in. It was both me and my sister. And it lasted until I was 12, until I went to the police about it, which actually made things a lot worse for me."
As bad as the abuse was, Shotzi explained how she was victimized in a different way when she reported the abuse.
Like, I thought, like, at that moment, all that stuff was over. And it was actually afterwards, the stuff that my mom put me through was the hardest part of my life, because she did not, I don't know if it's because she didn't believe me or she was so mad that I went to the police about it and I didn't go to her. She was on the side of my uncle. Like, when I went to court for it, she was with him, and she actually paid for his lawyer. She took out a loan from the house to be able to get him a lawyer against me.
What the fuck, dude?
Yeah.
Oh my God, that breaks my heart.
This is an incredibly sad story, and it must have been incredibly brave of Shotzi to share the story publicly. Next up, the real reason behind Jazmyn Nix's WWE exit is actually a huge problem. It's been a busy week for NXT superstar Jazmyn Nix, including her apparent exit from the faction Toxic Attraction and the news that she's leaving WWE. But now Nix is letting fans know why she chose to leave the promotion. Fightful Select is reporting that WWE wanted Jazmyn to stay in the company, but rumor has it that she was offered the same salary she was receiving, said to be around $75,000. Now, it's unclear if WWE offered any raises over time, but Nick's provided some background after a fan claimed NXT talent make around $80,000 to $150,000 per year. But Nick's took to social media stating, "If I was making that, it would have been great." Now, it's heavily likely that Nick's ended up with a lot less than $75,000 after taxes. And does that actually feel like enough for sacrificing your own body in the ring? Don't forget that WWE stars have to pay for their own travel and expenses, so it all kind of adds up. And finally, are people jealous about The Undertaker's marriage? And last but not least, are some people jealous of Michelle McCool's marriage with The Undertaker? McCool, who took over as a co-host for her husband's 6 Feet Under podcast show, recently commented, "I think some people are legit jealous that I'm married to you and that I spend any time with my husband." Taker quickly responded saying, "Well, I think spending time is one thing, but following me around everywhere I go to work is a whole nother deal." I may recall that some fans were upset when McCool took over the role of co-host on Undertaker's podcast after the original show, co-hosted by Matt Lyder, ended operations, only to debut on WWE's podcasting network. In addition, Michelle joined the cast of WWE LFG in Season 2, with Mickie James not returning. McCool also commented, "Stealing everybody's job. I know. What do you guys make of this situation? Be sure to leave your comments down below. I'll see you next time with some more wrestling content."